And now to our top story, the passing of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. For his views, we're joined in our studios now in Singapore by Nitin Bhatt, telecommunications analyst from Frost Sullivan. Nitin, thank you so much for joining us. Your thoughts about the passing of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple?
I think it's a big shock. It was kind of expected, if you will, given what we had been hearing. But I don't think people would have assumed that it could be so quick and so fast. And I think it's a shock for us. It's shock not only, I would tend to say, to the Apple as a company, but to the entire tech industry, which Steve Jobs, I think, transformed. I may want to add that I think this probably is the last part of making him a legend. And if you go back, legends typically die young, whether it's in the music, arts, so on and so forth. It's just tragic.
Everyone indeed will be missing his brilliance, his passion, his energy, and his countless innovations.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think it's not just about engineering that one needs to look at an Apple products for. I think it's the choice of making those products to be intuitive, for them to appeal to anyone from who is a 2-year-old to a 90-year-old. And I think that kind of choice, that kind of understanding is very rare. And I would tend to think that Apple as a company, obviously from an engineering perspective, from a succession planning perspective, has all that taken care of. So there, I would not think any short-term impact.
And it comes at a time, Nitin, that the iPhone 4S was released by Apple a day before his death.
That's true. And for all you know, it may sell it more. But having said that, I think the question is not more about what the short-term impact would be. I would tend to think that from a medium and a longer-term perspective, whether there would be an ability to make the kind of choices that Steve Jobs made in choosing a particular product portfolio, in choosing the kinds of ecosystem that it needs to have, in choosing the interactive interface, in choosing to make these products to be very intuitive. That is something that is not easily institutional-enabled, if you will. You can institutionalize everything else, but that part, I think, will be the missing part from Apple moving forward.
Nitin Bhatt, telecommunications analyst from Frost & Sullivan, thank you so much for your insights. And now, Chris, back to you for more news.
Yes, and David